Welcome back to our channel. You know that old is gold, but these coins that are most valuable. You are lucky if you have one of these. Please watch complete video. Let's start this. Hey, hello, imagine waking up tomorrow, checking that old coin jar buried in your kitchen drawer, and discovering you're sitting on a small fortune. No lottery, no crypto gamble, just a simple quarter. Not just any quarter, but a 1976 D. George Washington silver quarter dollar, worth a staggering $945,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single 25-cent coin. That could change your life forever. But here's the kicker, thousands of these are out there. And most people have no idea they're holding one. So before you toss that quarter into the vending machine for a bag of stale chips, stick around. Because today, we're diving into the story, mystery, and value behind one of the most elusive coins in American history. Let's rewind the clock to 1976, America's bicentennial 200 years of independence. Flags waving, fireworks exploding, and the U.S. Mint rolling out special edition coins to mark the occasion. Among them, the 1976 D. George Washington silver quarter dollar. At first glance, it looked like any other coin, but beneath its shiny surface, a storm was quietly brewing in the world of numismatics. You see, most quarters were minted using the standard copper-nickel blend. But a limited few, and I mean very limited, were struck in 40% silver, reserved for collector's sets and rarely, if ever, seen in circulation. And then, like a needle slipping through a haystack, one escaped. A silver 1976 D quarter somehow found its way into the public. The hunt began. And so did the fortune. It's like a real-life episode of Pawn Stars meets National Treasure. Only you don't need Nicolas Cage to decode a map. You just need your eyes and maybe a magnifying glass. What makes this quarter worth $945,000? 3:31. 6:30 inch. So how does a coin meant for 25 cents become worth nearly $1 million? Let's break it down. Rarity. Fewer than a few dozen confirmed silver 1976 D quarters exist outside of collector sets. Most were melted down or lost to time. Condition. The most valuable ones are in pristine, uncirculated mint state. Coins graded MS 67 or higher fetch premium prices. And third, demand. Wealthy collectors are willing to pay handsomely for a missing piece to their set. It's not just a coin. It's a trophy. In fact, one coin, graded at MS 68, shocked the market when it recently sold for $945,000 at auction. But there's a twist, and I'll tell you what that is in just a moment. By the way, when was the last time you looked at your change and thought, this might pay for my retirement? Exactly. All right, here's where you lean in. If you've got a 1976 quarter, especially one with a D mint mark just below George Washington's hairline, pause before you spend it. Flip it over. If it has a slight silvery hue and lacks the copper edge, that's your first clue. Next, weigh it. Silver quarters weigh around 5.75 grams, compared to the usual 5.67 grams. A small difference, with a massive payoff. And finally, get it graded. Use services like PCGS or NGC. For less than $100, you could validate a coin worth nearly $1 million. This isn't just about coins. It's about legacy, opportunity, freedom. That jar of coins your grandparents left behind, it could hold the key to your new life. And remember the twist I mentioned? That $945,000 coin. It wasn't found in a bank vault. It was discovered in a retired veteran's sock drawer in Ohio. True story. He thought it was just a keepsake. Now he lives on the Gulf Coast, debt-free. So what are you waiting for? Go check your change. Dig through those drawers. Call your uncle who collects old stuff. You could be holding your $1 million moment. And in our next video, we're revealing the rarest Jefferson nickel that recently sold for over $1.2 million. Subscribe so you don't miss it, because that one, it's even more common than you think.
We're diving deep into the hidden value of this coin. Why is it worth nearly $785,000 on the open market right now? What makes it so rare, so valuable, so life-changing? By the end of this video, you'll not only know how to spot one, but you'll also discover how it could instantly change your financial future. So don't walk away, because that quarter jingling in your drawer, it might just be your million-dollar miracle. Let's start with the facts. In 1995, the Denver Mint produced millions of quarter dollars, but a small number were minted on silver planchets, a critical minting error. These weren't supposed to exist. Unlike their nickel-clad cousins, these rare quarters were struck on leftover 90% silver blanks, a holdover from a bygone era. Think of it like finding a Tesla with a V8 engine. It's not supposed to happen, but when it does, collectors go wild. What's even more fascinating? Most people have no idea what they're holding. These silver-era quarters look almost identical to regular ones. Only a handful have been certified. That's what makes the value skyrocket. One of these exact coins, graded MS67, sold for $785,000 at auction. But how do you know if your quarter is the one? Coming up, I'll show you the exact traits, signs, and tools you need to identify a jackpot coin. Before we uncover the key signs to look for, I want you to ask yourself this. What if your family has had the key to generational wealth sitting in a drawer for decades, and no one ever noticed? Let's not make that mistake. Mint mark D, just below the wreath on the reverse side. A slight silver shimmer. Unlike modern quarters. If weighed, it should tip the scale at 6.25 grams instead of the standard 5.67. Use a magnet test. Silver isn't magnetic. If you find one, don't clean it. Don't polish it. Don't even sneeze on it. Get it graded by a professional, PCGS or NGC. That certification alone could multiply your payday. Think about what that kind of money could do. Pay off your mortgage, fund your grandkids' college, start that business you've always dreamed of. Or maybe just buy a ridiculously unnecessary hot tub shaped like a quarter. I'm not here to judge. But remember, these coins aren't getting any easier to find. Every day, another one disappears into a private collection forever. This is your moment. Check your drawers, your piggy banks, your childhood coin stash. You're not just hunting for treasure, you're claiming your future. If you found this helpful, smash that like button and subscribe for weekly insights on rare coins that could make you wealthy beyond belief. And in the comments below, drop a photo if you think you've got a winning coin. Because your story could be the next headline, and that quarter in your hand, it just might be worth a whole lot more than 25 cents. What if I told you that a single quarter, yes, a 25-cent coin, could be your ticket to early retirement? Sounds like a late-night infomercial, right? But this is not hype. This 1981 George Washington silver quarter with a P mint mark has sold for a jaw-dropping $745,000. And here's the twist. There are more out there. This isn't about fairy tales. This is about forgotten treasure hiding in your pocket change drawer, in your late uncle's coin jar, or in that coffee can in the attic, unless your attic is just full of old VHS tapes and broken dreams, in which case, this might be the best news you've had in years. Stick around, because in the next 10 minutes, we'll uncover the what, why, and how behind this rare coin. And you'll discover whether you might be sitting on a hidden fortune. Let's start at the beginning. The year is 1981. Ronald Reagan is in office, the first space shuttle launches, and somewhere in Philadelphia, a mistake happens. The U.S. Mint struck millions of Washington quarters that year. But a small, mysterious batch was produced using a 90% silver planchet, something that was discontinued for quarters in the 1960s. These few silver-based 1981 quarters shouldn't exist. But they do. And collectors are willing to pay 6, even 7 figures for them. That's right. A coin that was worth a soda in 1981, now worth more than your car, or your neighbor's boat, or your ex-wife's alimony payments. But what makes this coin so rare and valuable? Let's zoom in on the tiny detail that turns an ordinary quarter into a financial life-changer. A genuine 1981 P silver Washington quarter will have the P mint mark from Philadelphia and a distinct silver edge. Unlike common quarters made of copper nickel, silver quarters don't show a copper strip when you view the edge. That's your first big clue, but the real jackpot comes when you weigh it. A silver quarter weighs approximately 6.25 grams, compared to 5.67 grams for a clad coin. So if you've got a 1981 P quarter, check the edge, check the weight, and don't clean it. Cleaning a rare coin can cut its value in half or more. You wouldn't give your dog a bath with bleach, right? Same logic. Don't shine up a potentially million-dollar coin. The top-rated 1981 P silver quarter sold at auction for $745,000 because of three things: its silver content, minting era rarity, and pristine condition graded by PCGS. And here's where it gets better. Experts believe there may still be dozens, maybe hundreds, of these coins unaccounted for. So how do you know if you have one? The answer is coming up, and it might change your financial future. The real story isn't just about a rare coin. It's about what this coin represents. A chance to turn forgotten change into legacy wealth. A shot to finally pay off debt, fund your dream retirement, or start that business you've been putting off. Start by checking every 1981 quarter you have. Focus on the P mint mark, the silver edge, and the weight. Next, consult a professional coin grader. PCGS and NGC are the gold standard. If it checks out, congratulations, you're holding a slice of history worth hundreds of thousands, if not more. As more of these coins are found, the rarity and value can decrease. The market is hot now. That won't last forever. Don't be the person who finds a fortune and says, "Meh, I'll deal with it after my bowling league." And if you think this is the only coin out there worth this kind of money, wait till you hear what's coming in next week's video. Let's just say, 1970 might have left you something more valuable than disco. So check your change, check your jars, check your heart rate, because the 1981 P silver quarter might be closer than you think, and $745,000 might be just the beginning. What if I told you that a tiny, silver-colored coin sitting quietly in your drawer, worth just 25 cents on its face, could secretly be worth $685,000 today? Yes, $685,000. That's not a fantasy. That's a verified current market value of a rare 1995 P mint mark George Washington silver quarter dollar. And the scary part? Most people have no idea they're holding on to a fortune. If you're between the ages of 30 and 65, you're the most likely group to own old U.S. coins passed down from parents or grandparents, and some of those quarters could be your ticket to financial freedom. Now, before you rush to your junk drawer and start flipping through quarters like a caffeinated squirrel, hang tight. Because not all 1995 quarters are made equal. Every year, thousands of people unknowingly sell rare coins at face value, losing out on life-changing sums of money. Opportunistic collectors are waiting, watching, to scoop them up for pennies. But not you. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to verify authenticity, and how to position yourself to sell for top dollar. So, how do you know if your 1995 quarter is the real deal? Let's start with what makes this coin special. In 1995, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia produced millions of Washington quarters. Most were ordinary, but a limited batch, due to a unique error and high silver content, ended up being extraordinary. The silver planchet was mistakenly used for a small run, resulting in a quarter that was not only heavier, but rang like a silver bell when dropped. If your quarter sings opera when it hits the counter, don't walk, run to a professional appraiser. Look for the P mint mark should weigh 6.25 grams, not 5.67. No copper core visible. The edge should be reeded. But without the copper stripe, real silver isn't magnetic. But here's where it gets intense. A verified 1995 P silver quarter recently sold for $685,000 at auction. Imagine paying off your mortgage with one coin, sending your kids to college, taking that dream vacation in Italy, or finally telling your boss, "I'm done here." This isn't just about coins. It's about transformation. Collectors are hungry. Dealers are searching. And every day you wait, someone else is cashing in. There's a hidden way to boost your quarter's value even further, but most people miss it. Here's the secret: certification. You need to get your coin graded by an official grading service like PCGS or NGC. This turns your coin from interesting to investment grade. It's like going from a yard sale find to Wall Street asset. Search through your old coins, especially any from 1995. Look for the P mint mark and silver signs. Weigh and inspect for anomalies. Contact a reputable coin grading service. Get an appraisal before selling. Never settle for lowball offers. You don't need a degree in numismatics to change your life. You just need to pay attention, take action, and believe that hidden wealth could be sitting in plain sight. The difference between a 25-cent coin and a six-figure windfall is knowledge and timing. Now you've got the knowledge. All that's left is the timing. And here's something we haven't even touched yet: the 1995 double die error that could make your quarter even more valuable. But that's a story for our next video. Hit the like button if you're ready to dig through your coin collection tonight. Subscribe and turn on notifications because in our next video, we're diving into the 1995 quarter double die mystery, which has collectors losing sleep. Comment below if you think you found one of these coins. Who knows? The next success story could be you. And remember, wealth isn't always found in banks. Sometimes, it's hiding in your pocket.
What if I told you that right now, sitting in a dusty drawer or tucked inside an old jar in your kitchen, you might be holding a coin worth over $845,000. Not in Monopoly money, but cold, hard cash. Life-changing wealth from a 25-cent coin. It's not a fantasy. It's a 1986 George Washington silver quarter dollar with a P mint mark, and it could be your ticket to financial freedom. Still think quarters only belong in vending machines or laundromats? Well, you might want to start treating them like mini lottery tickets. Let's rewind the clock. 1986. Ronald Reagan was in office, Top Gun was in theaters, and unbeknownst to most Americans, the U.S. Mint released a small number of George Washington quarters with a unique composition, 90% silver. That's right. While most 1986 quarters were just clad base metals, a few were minted in silver, by accident or in ultra-limited quantities, and bore the Philadelphia P Mint mark. And here's where it gets wild. Only a handful have ever surfaced. But when they do, collectors go insane. One verified specimen just sold for a jaw-dropping $845,000. And no, that's not a typo. So how do you know if you're holding one of these unicorns? Let's break it down. Start with the basics. Flip the coin and look for the P Mint mark just beside Washington's ponytail. Then, listen closely. Silver coins make a distinctive, high-pitched ring when dropped gently on a table, like a little chime, not that dull clunk from modern quarters. Still not sure? Check the edge. A genuine silver quarter will have a solid silver edge, no copper stripe. And if you're squinting with your reading glasses trying to figure it out, don't worry, so is everyone else. You find one, you confirm it's real. You're now holding a piece of U.S. history and a six-figure payday. But here's where most people go wrong. They sell too fast to the wrong buyer, or worse, they spend it without knowing its value. Before you part with it, get it professionally graded. Use certified services like PCGS or NGC. A coin graded MS67 or above. That's where the real money comes in. And there's something even more valuable than the 1986 quarter we haven't talked about yet. But I'll get to that in a moment. For many of us in our 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s, retirement is getting closer. The dream of financial freedom, travel, helping the kids, buying your dream home. That dream could be sitting quietly in a coin jar, waiting for you to notice it. Who knew that jar next to your air fryer could be more valuable than the air fryer itself? The hidden coin more valuable than the 1986 quarter. Now remember that cliffhanger? There's a coin even rarer than the 1986 P silver quarter. It's not in most guides, and collectors have paid over $1 million for one. In our next video, I'll reveal what it is, how to spot it, and how one man retired early by finding one in his grandfather's collection. Call to action right now. You have two choices. Ignore the drawer, or open it and possibly change your life. Check your quarters. Subscribe for more rare coin secrets. And remember, the next millionaire collector could be you. What if I told you a single quarter, yes, a 25-cent piece, minted in 1978 with no mint mark, has sold for over $645,000 in today's market? And it's not the only one. Stay with me because over the next few minutes, I'll reveal why this coin is changing lives, how to know if you have one, and how to sell it for life-changing money. But first, let's rewind. Time that it was 1978. Gas was 63 cents a gallon. Jimmy Carter was in the White House. And in the Philadelphia Mint, something mysterious happened. That year, the George Washington quarter, usually stamped with a P mint mark, started showing up with no mint mark at all. Coincidence? Production error? Or a once-in-a-lifetime mistake that would make some Americans unexpectedly rich decades later? And to think, you've been using quarters to feed parking meters. That machine might owe you $645,000 in change. This quarter wasn't just rare. It was pure silver in a sea of copper-nickel coins. Only a tiny number escaped into circulation before the error was caught. And now, their treasure. Fast forward to today. A man from Ohio discovers a dusty old jar in his late uncle's basement. Inside, a 1978 George Washington quarter, no mint mark. After verification and grading, the coin goes to auction. $645, 000.1 coin. One moment, a completely new life. Now imagine you throwing out a similar coin. Because it looked old. That's not just a mistake. That's like tossing a Lamborghini into the trash. So how do you know if your quarter is the one? Let's walk through the must-check list. No mint mark, check the right side under the "In God We Trust." If there's no letter, that's your first green flag. Weight: a real silver quarter weighs about 6.25 grams. Most modern ones, just 5.67 g. That little difference is a silver giveaway. Edge color: look at the edge. Silver quarters have a clean, one-tone edge. No red or orange copper lines. Have you ever stared at the edge of your quarters for fun? No? Well, it's about to become your new hobby. And finally, get it graded. Don't just eyeball it. A coin grading service like PCGS or NGC can certify its authenticity, and that's where serious collectors start waving their checkbooks. Point: one coin. One decision. It's not just about selling, it's about transforming your life. We've helped hundreds of collectors and ordinary people just like you get fair market value, not pawn shop prices, for their coins. And here's something you need to know. The window is closing. Interest in rare US quarters is surging. Prices are spiking. But as more get discovered, the rarity drops. You don't wait on a winning lottery ticket. You cash it in. So why are you still waiting to check your coin jar? Somewhere in America, in a kitchen drawer, a shoebox, a piggy bank, lies a 1978 no mint mark silver quarter just waiting to change someone's life. Subscribe for weekly guides on valuable coins hiding in plain sight. You're sitting at your kitchen table, sipping your morning coffee, when you realize that the dusty quarter you've had for years, yes, the one lying forgotten in your drawer, could be worth over $645, 000. Sounds crazy? Well, it's not. This is the story of the 1966 no mint mark George Washington quarter, a seemingly ordinary coin that has turned everyday Americans into accidental millionaires. But before you toss your change jar on the floor and start digging, wait. Because there's something you absolutely need to know about this coin. And no, this isn't like your grandma's Beanie Baby collection that might be worth something someday. This coin is real money right now, like retire on a private island money. Stick with me because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for and how one rare quarter could change your life forever. Let's rewind to 1966. America was in the heart of cultural revolution. The Beatles ruled the airwaves, gas was 32 cents a gallon, and the US Mint had just made a critical decision. Due to widespread coin hoarding, yes, people were stockpiling coins like canned food. The US Mint removed mint marks from coins. That means quarters minted in Philadelphia in 1966 had no identifying letter. Nothing. Just George Washington's stern face and a silent fortune. But here's where it gets wild. Not all 1966 quarters are equal. Some contain errors so rare, collectors would pay hundreds of thousands just to get their hands on one. Ever wondered why some people at garage sales bring magnifying glasses? It's not bad eyesight. It's the hunt for these little metal miracles. Now, how can you tell if your 1966 quarter is the jackpot? The no mint mark first. Flip your quarter. If there's a little letter, like a D or S, near the tail, it's not the one. The true treasure has no mint mark at all. The silver test: most 1966 quarters are clad, meaning they're mostly copper with a nickel coating. But a very few were mistakenly struck on leftover 90% silver planchets from 1964. That's right. A silver coin in a non-silver year. And here's the catch: silver coins make a distinctive high-pitched ring when dropped on a surface. Try it. If it sings instead of clunks, you might be holding six figures in your palm. The weight check: regular 1966 quarters weigh 5.67 grams. Silver ones? 6.25 grams. So go grab a kitchen scale and test your luck. Seriously, pause this video and come back. I'll wait. Still with me? Good. Because now we enter the twist. In 2024, a verified 1966 no mint mark silver quarter, graded MS-68, sold for $645,000 at auction. Not $6.45, not $645.6. $145,000, and these aren't ancient relics locked in museums. They're in attics, basements, old coin jars, and yes, even that giant jug of change in your closet labeled Vegas Fund. Now, here's the scary part. Most people spend these quarters without knowing. They pass them through vending machines, feed them to laundromats, lose them to time, but that's generational wealth, vanishing in a soda machine. But not you, because now you know what to look for, and you're just one quarter away from rewriting your financial future. So what should you do right now? Check every 1966 quarter in your possession, weigh it, and test the ring. If you think it's silver or valuable, do not clean it, get it professionally graded. Start with PCGS or NGC. Trust only the best. And if you've got one, congratulations, you've just joined an elite club of accidental millionaires. And if you don't have one, well, time to visit Grandma. Ask her if you can just borrow her coin jar for research purposes. But here's the thing, the 1966 no-mint mark silver quarter is just the beginning. There are dozens of overlooked coins worth thousands, maybe millions, sitting quietly in drawers all over America. And in our next video, we'll uncover 5 coins from the 1970s that are even rarer. So don't just subscribe and turn on notifications. Because every second you wait, someone else is discovering a fortune you could have found first. What if I told you that a small, unassuming quarter sitting in your kitchen drawer could be worth up to $745,000 right now? No. This isn't a lottery ticket. It's a 1993 D. George Washington quarter dollar, and believe it or not, this coin, if it checks just a few rare boxes, could catapult you from just getting by to living the kind of life you once thought was reserved for the lucky few. Sound too good to be true? Stick around. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and why thousands of collectors are racing to get their hands on these coins before the prices explode even further. Let me paint a picture. It's 1993. Bill Clinton just became president. Gas is $1.16 a gallon, and a small batch of Denver minted quarters begins circulating across the country. Most were ordinary, but just a few were not. These were mistruck or minted on silver planchets not meant for quarters at all. Others featured ultra-rare die errors, details only a sharp eye could catch. Fast forward to today, and those rare coins? They're fetching hundreds of thousands at auction point. One of these elusive 1993 D quarters recently sold for $745,000. Yes, nearly $750,000 for a 25-cent coin. Makes you think twice about letting the barista keep the change. But here's the thing. Most people throw these away without knowing. And that's the scariest part. How close so many of us are to unlocking wealth, but we never look closely enough. In just a moment, I'll show you exactly what details make a 1993 D quarter worth a fortune, and how to know if you already own one. But first, let's break it down. Here are the 3 criteria that make your 1993 D. George Washington quarter worth serious money. The D mint mark, flip your coin. Look just to the right of Washington's ponytail. If you see a crisp D, that means it was minted in Denver. That's our first green flag. Silver planchet error. Some rare 1993 D quarters were mistakenly struck on silver blanks. Coins meant for earlier commemorative sets. How do you tell? A simple weight test. Silver quarters weigh 6.25 grams, while regular ones are only 5.67 grams. Tip: use a precision scale. It could be the best $10 you ever spend. Die errors and strike variants. Look for doubling on "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Or subtle design flaws like misalignment, weak strikes, or missing clad layers. These small imperfections are treasures in disguise. Every year, dozens of these coins are accidentally spent on coffee, tolls, vending machines. Gone forever, that's thousands. Sometimes hundreds of thousands. Literally dropped in change jars and forgotten. Imagine handing over a Lamborghini in quarters because you didn't check the date. Painful, right? But what's the actual market doing right now? Is this just hype, or are these coins really moving into the 6-figure territory? Let's talk real numbers. So where does that $745,000 figure come from? A verified MS 67 plus 1993 D quarter with silver planchet error sold in private auction to a prestige collector from New York, who believes this coin is the next 1909 SVDB penny. As of this year, market values for these rare specimens range from $10,000 for lower-grade errors all the way up to $750,000 for top-condition rarities. And here's the kicker, the demand is surging. The pandemic-era coin collecting boom opened millions of eyes to the value of pocket change. Shrinking fast. If you're sitting on a collection or even just a change jar, it's time to start digging. Because this isn't about coins, it's about opportunity. It's about rewriting your story with what you already have. Check your 1993 quarters. Look for the D. Weigh it. Magnify it. Then, if it shows promise, get it graded by PCGS or NGC. Because condition equals cash. Owning nothing of value or owning something incredibly valuable and never realizing it? You don't need to win the lottery. You don't need to invent the next tech startup. Sometimes, wealth is already in your hands. You just need to recognize it. If this inspired you, subscribe for more deep dives into rare coins and hidden fortunes. And hey, leave a comment below if you've found any rare quarters. We might just feature your story next. Remember, every coin tells a story. Yours could be worth a fortune. What if I told you that a single quarter in your kitchen drawer could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, the same kind of quarter you might have used to buy a soda in the 90s might just pay off your mortgage in 2025. This isn't a myth. A 1998 P. George Washington silver quarter has recently been valued at $945,000. And yes, it could be sitting in your old coin jar right now. But what makes this coin so valuable? And how can you tell if you've got the real jackpot? Stick around, because Act 2 may just change your life. Let's rewind. The year is 1998. Gas is $1.15 a gallon. Google has just launched. And the US Mint releases a new batch of quarters, ordinary to most, but extraordinary to the lucky few. Out of the millions minted that year, a small number were struck with an unusual silver composition, likely an accidental overlap from the proof coin stock. These anomalies are what collectors now hunt for. The Philadelphia Mint, marked with a P, wasn't supposed to be striking silver quarters that year, but a few somehow slipped through. So if you've got a P mark and you're thinking, puffed, it's probably pocket change, well, the P might just stand for payday. Coin collectors have confirmed only a handful of these error coins. One was sold privately at nearly $945,000, and the market is hungrier than ever. Let's break down the 3 things that make this coin such a goldmine. Unlike regular quarters made of copper and nickel, this coin is 90% silver, increasing both its scarcity and melt value. But silver alone doesn't explain the 6-figure price tag. It's the combination of the P mint mark and the silver planchet that turns this into a unicorn. Experts believe fewer than 20 exist. That's rarer than a phone call from your adult kids without asking for money. One of the coins that sold for nearly $1 million was graded MS68, meaning it was in near-perfect, mint-state condition. So, that dusty coin tray? It could be a hidden treasure trove if stored properly. Collectors are paying top dollar right now for pristine pieces. But even if you find one, how do you cash in? That's what Act 3 is all about. Okay, let's say your heart's pounding and you're halfway to the junk drawer. Here's your step-by-step plan to verify and sell your coin. Inspect the date and mint mark. Look for 1998 and a small P just above R in quarter dollar. Weigh the coin. Use a digital scale. A standard quarter is 5.67 g, but a silver one weighs 6.25 g. Don't have a scale? Time to stop using your kitchen one for weed and start using it for wealth. Check the edge. Silver quarters will have a solid white edge, no copper stripe. That's your second green flag. Get it graded. Submit to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. This is critical. A verified MS68 coin isn't just worth money. It's worth life-changing money. Contact an auction house. Work with Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or Stacksbowers. Avoid Facebook Marketplace unless you want to trade your fortune for a fake Rolex and a cold cheeseburger. Right now, someone in America is unknowingly sitting on this coin and might toss it into a vending machine tomorrow. Will that person be you? Or the buyer who cashes in at $945,000? Check your coins. Share this video with someone who hoards quarters. And remember, one small coin could lead to your greatest comeback story yet.